Hello everyone. Wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give Sir Richard Hadlee, one of the finest fast bowlers in the history of cricket. His full name was Richard John Hadlee, and he was born 3rd July 1951 in Christchurch, New Zealand. He played 86 Test matches, and he took 431 Test wickets at an average of 22.29, and he had 36 5 wicket hauls and a 9 10 wicket hauls. That is a lot, 9 10 wicket hauls for a fast bowler, and 36 5 wicket hauls. And he also scored more than 3,100 runs, and he scored two Test centuries as well. 151 not out was his highest. He was an excellent exponent of the swing and the outswinger especially. He had an excellent potent outswinger when he played. He wasn't a big exponent of the reverse swing, but conventional swing, he was amazing. He was like called the Sultan of swing initially. Then later on, Wasim Akram had that tag, but he was excellent with his swing, and his action was a lot like Dennis Lillee. A lot of people will remember Richard Hadlee's action. He was explosive at the crease, very rhythmic run up. But towards the crease, he was a bit different from Dennis Lillee. He was very close to the wicket. He even used to hit the non-striker end with with his hand, sorry. And he had that explosive action, and he used to get excellent outswingers. And he was a deadly bowler in the 70s and 80s. And he has also taken 1,490 first class wickets with 18 10 wicket hauls and 102 5 wicket hauls. And in one day internationals, he has taken around more than 150 wickets as well. And Imran Khan, Ian Botham, and Kapil Dev, the three great all-rounders of that era, Richard Hadlee was regarded as the fourth after three of them. And in 1978, he played for Nottinghamshire, by the way, for England County. And in 1978, he took 6 for 26 against England when England were chasing just 137 runs, and England were bowled out for 64 runs. That was one of the first times Richard Hadlee made such an impact on a Test match. And then 1979-80, the West Indies were a formidable team in that time, and West Indies toured New Zealand. And in the Dunedin Test, Richard Hadlee took 11 wickets, and New Zealand won by just 1 wicket. So that was another big performance from Richard Hadlee. And in the second Test, he scored his maiden Test 100, and he helped New Zealand to draw the match against West Indies. And therefore, New Zealand won the Test series 1-0. That was a very famous win against West Indies. And that actually started a 12-year unbeaten home record for New Zealand. So 12 years they were unbeaten at home. So shows the power of Richard Hadlee. And after that, in 86 against England, England were bowled out for less than 100 in both the innings, and Richard Hadlee took 8 wickets in that match. He also scored 99 runs in the only innings that New Zealand batted. New Zealand beating England by an innings. So that was also at home. And then later, 84, 85 against Australia in the first Test at Brisbane, Richard Hadlee took his highest wicket, his best figures in a Test match. That was 9 for 52 at Brisbane. And he also scored 54 in the first innings when Martin Groh also scored a famous 188. And New Zealand won the Test by an innings. They beat Australia by an innings, 9 for 52 from Hadlee, and also 54. And in the third Test, he again took 11 wickets against Australia, and Australia and New Zealand won for the first time on Australian soil. So that was a very famous series win again. New Zealand winning for the first time on Australian soil. And in that Test series, Richard Hadlee took 33 wickets in just 3 Test matches. And in 1984 to 1988, he was Wisden's ICC's best Test bowler for 5 years. From 84 to 88, he held that record. And obviously, a lot of people would know that 431 was a magical number. He was the holder of the highest number of wickets in Test history. He broke Ian Botham's record, and he held the world record of 431 for a few years. And then obviously, Kapil Dev broke it later. And after that in England, after that series in Australia, they played in '86. He played against England at England and at Nottinghamshire. I mean, that was his county as well. He took 11 wickets in that Test match, and he scored 50 as well in that match. And England beat New Zealand. Sorry, New Zealand beat England in that series in England. So that was New Zealand's first win on English soil as well. And in 1988, against India in India at Wankhede Stadium, Bombay, Richard Hadlee took a 10-wicket haul, and New Zealand won that Test match. But they did lose the Test series 2-1 to India. So there are some big performances from Richard Hadlee against West Indies, winning the series at home against West Indies, starting a 12-year unbeaten record at home, then beating Australia in Australia, big performances, 9 for 52, and that century in the that 54 as well, century was against West Indies. And then again beating England in England as well. So the two away Test series wins for New Zealand under Richard Hadlee, and then great performance against West Indies. So it's almost like winning a World Cup. I mean, winning a Test series in Australia in those times. And Richard Hadlee was, I mean, when I started watching cricket in the 80s, Richard Hadlee was such a popular figure in cricket. He was a very dominant fast bowler at that time, and he was regarded as the yardstick of fast bowlers. Obviously, the Imran Khan was also a very good bowler at that time. A couple there was there, Ian Botham was there, but Richard Hadlee was in a league of his own. He single-handedly won many matches for New Zealand. So that is my video. The first New Zealand cricketer that I'm giving probably rightfully Sir Richard Hadlee. Obviously, I will be putting a video on Martin Crowe as well, one of the greatest New Zealand cricket players. So just a cap of Richard Hadlee, full name's Richard John Hadlee. He took 431 wickets in 80-odd Test matches at an average of just over 22, and also scored more than 3,000 runs with 200s and a 151 not out. And I said about the major series wins that he had, a home Test series win against West Indies in 79-80 when West Indies were a formidable team, and beating Australia in Australia with a big 9 for 52 best performance as well, and then beating England when he scored runs and also took wickets in Nottinghamshire, beating England in a Test series in England, and also that Test match win in India in Wankhede. Even though New Zealand lost the Test series, that was a big performance from Richard Hadlee. And people will remember Sir Richard Hadlee. I mean, he used to have that wristband on his hand, and he always used to bowl with the wristband, and he had an amazing bowling action. A lot of people have copied Sir Richard Hadlee's action in those times. He used to run very fast and rhythmic towards the crease, and then he used to come very close to the crease, and he had that side-on kind of action. Not side-on, a little bit of a mixed side-on, front-on action. He used to really explode at the crease. I'm tempted to show his action, and he used to really bowl a lot of big outswingers. That was his main weapon, the outswingers. So Richard Hadlee, one of the greatest fast bowlers of all time, fine bowler, fast bowler, and he was very fast when he started playing cricket, and then later on he slowed his run up, and he was focusing more on accuracy and movement than the pace. And he was a very handy batsman as well. I mean, like I said, after the Imran Khan, Ian Botham, Imran Khan couple there, he was rated the 4th all-rounder in that era. And he was a attacking left-handed batsman as well. I mean, he scored 200s in test cricket. But he was very famous, most famous for holding the record, 431 Test wicket record for a few years before Kapil broke it. So that is my video on Sir Richard Hadlee, one of the greatest fast bowlers of all time, and an amazing bowler in the 70s, 80s that really was a real big match winner for New Zealand, who single-handedly won many matches for New Zealand. And it has to be noted that he really bowled by himself. He didn't really have such an opening bowling partner like the Australian bowlers or the West Indian bowlers had. So Richard Hadlee could have achieved more if he had a potent partner as well. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining in. Take care and God bless you.